it's Women's Day, then it's Baba Saheb Ambedkar's Day. If not for them, any laws for women in India would have not been possible at all. For example, yesterday Mr. Franklin was talking about maternity and things like that. Right? So it was the 1940s that Baba Saheb Ambedkar brought the Maternity Benefit Act. So he said, women will give birth. So they need leave. So they need paid leave because the offices were not. The offices were not giving the leaves. They say once you're pregnant, you're off. It was 1942. Do you think even now it's happening? Like how women's delivery, labor, marriage is affecting their career? Even now when you go to interview, the first thing they'll ask a woman is, are you married or not? Then they'll say, when are you, that woman will be a HR, that HR will be a woman. She'll be asking the question, are you getting married? It's like as if she has all the rights to ask. Or she'll say, you're married. When are you going to have a baby? This is the only country where women are asked when you're going to have a baby to have a job. Will a man be asked? Man is also having the baby, no? He's the father of the baby. He only gives the name and initial. He has all the rights on the baby. But any of that affects his life, professional or personal? They're always bachelors. They're like flying. But women, irrespective of whether they are married or not, their uterus decides their value in a company. Whether she's going to have a baby, whether she's going to take a break, when is she going to come back? These are the questions. And unless and until this is sorted out, women cannot expect legal protection in offices to be recruited in the first place, right? And then even for maternity leave, even though we have Maternity Benefits Act, Ambedkar is the one who brought it, India has it, still private employees, women have to beg for these leave and benefits. It is very, the workplace, Indian workplace or the workplace itself is man-friendly than woman-friendly. Even the restrooms. When I said Ambedkar, why I said Ambedkar is, he brought the law for, he said if there are more than 7 women working at an office, they should have a public toilet, a toilet for them. Separate toilet for them. Because toilet was not built in those times. Because they think if toilet is not there, women will not come for work. Because sanitation is the biggest hindrance for us, right? Because we have periods, right? We have a lot of things going on with our bodies. Our bodies are very unique. But our bodies are very unique because we are giving birth. And giving birth, Ambedkar says, is adding more to the workforce of the country. So the child which I am producing is a production manufacturing tool. It is not a weakness for me. I am contributing to the GDP of the country more. I am contributing to the productivity of the country more. So that's why he said childbirth has to be paid and given leave. But childbirth right now in the modern times is taken as a bane than a boon in a company setup. They'd even say, you're going to have a second child, again you're going to take a leave. On your face they'll say, but a man will not face that. And even for working women, as he said yesterday, there should be a lactation room, a nursing room. Most of the offices that they have it. They can't even bring their children, right? But in 1946 itself, Ambedkar said, in the Mines Act, there was mines, and he said all the women should have creches. All the women should have creche facility to bring their children. That was very, progressive for those times. But can you bring your children? You can't, right? End of the day, you have to. And then even the working women's burden of taking care of the child also is a working woman's burden than a working man's burden. The child gets sick, right? If the child gets sick or has a problem in the school, the woman has to take leave and rush. The man doesn't have that necessity at all. It is like by default you have to do this job. So while recruiting, the HRs and the companies think it's better to take male than females. But the reason they take female is they think female are more responsible than males, right? That is right. Huh? Yeah. So they say we are very inclusive. Huh? Wages. So I was speaking to somebody, he said, in session, we take a lot of women. I said, super, why? Because they're very responsible, they don't take much leave, and even if I give extra work, they do OT and all they do. I said, sir, I think you're taking a lot of women because you think it's easy to exploit them. Yeah, because I'll tell you this example, because I was a marketing head in my company when I was working, and this HR quit and they didn't have HR for some time, and they asked me to take care of HR because I knew payroll processing and all. They said, you do payroll processing and everything. That day when I opened the payroll software, when I opened and I saw my counterparts or people who are doing same job as mine, where men are getting more salary than me. I'm doing two things. I'm doing HR work, I'm doing marketing work, I'm getting the same salary, but this person who's holding only one profile is paid more than me, minimum 30% more than me. I saw this pattern, minimum 30% more than me. And I shook. Because this is a turning point when I quit my job in 2015. These are the things which led to it. Because there's a very big equal, pay gap. But I said Ambedkar also got a legislation which says the constitution, I think Article 39 or 42, which says equal pay for people. That's why I say the country's laws are good for women, but the culture is not. There's a wage gap. And the wage gap is there in cinema, the wage gap is there in manual scavenging. I'm telling you, already the manual scavengers in Tamil Nadu are paid very less. They do contract job. If they do government job, they'll give 40,000 salary. Instead, they are given contracts. So they get 12,000. A man gets 12,000 and a woman who does the same manual scavenging job gets 8,000 or 6,000. It's the same amount of work, menial task. Yeah, so equal pay, again, there is a problem. Yeah. No, I work for an MNC. No, maybe exceptions don't make examples. It's a very big exception because as an activist, I worked with labor unions, I worked with labor unions, IT labor unions, most of the MNC multinational company only has because government, there is a statutory law which says this is the fixed amount, but in MNC you don't have a fixed amount. It varies, and end of the day there is a very big wage gap in MNC because government is fixed. It's 25,000 for this job, not for women, men. That's why we support government jobs in this matter, right? But in MNC it's not the case. Even in schools, the female teachers are paid less. Not here, even right now we did a survey last month. NGOs which speaks about human rights and development, they are paying very less for women employees who are doing more job, more work. Because in NGOs you see, women are more, because caregiving is I don't know, women think caregiving comes with part and parcel of that work. So in human rights organizations or NGOs, women do a lot of extra work. But they are the ones paid less. And also the heads of the organizations. It's not just pay wage gap, but becoming the heads of organization. See, you take any job. See, I was into marketing. So my whole job is to see what are the companies that are there in India, top IT companies, top petrochemical, everything. You have CTO, CIO, you have COO, CEO. How many percentage you think women will be there in these four roles? 5%. 5%. Most, as if women cannot do finance, can women not do operations, can women not take care of an organization? They can do wonders, right? You have Indra Nooyi, you have a lot of people who have done, lot of stuff. The chief of IMF, the chief of, International Monetary Fund is a woman. Now, changes are happening, but in India, the concept of women taking decision-making power in the company is not happening. But women are given HR jobs. Why women are given HR jobs in companies? They think like women, as they behaving at home like a homemaker, they will also do the same kind of work at offices. Exploited again. Empathy and sympathy exploited. And then letting go, layoff and all. They think a man cannot handle that emotional trauma. A woman can handle it. You see? Yeah, we are stronger. We are stronger. But end of the day, they think that do anything, it's the dirty work is involved, like laying off people or doing the negative things. For example, I'm telling you, BJP's economic policies are a letdown. It's a failure. We are supposed to oppose BJP for their very bad economic decisions. But who's the face of their finance? Nirmala Sitharaman. So we will only, or men will put memes on Nirmala Sitharaman and target her. So what option this BJP is giving is saying, see, women when given their job, they are not doing it well. This is the kind of picture they are creating. But the fault is with the party itself, the government itself. Right? So these are the things that we have to see and observe, and we are just not going to talk about a company. We're going to talk about political parties. We're going to talk about NGOs. Political parties, like women form the greatest workers of political parties. Right? From gathering votes to campaigning from morning till night and to do a lot of things. Women power. Right? You see in all Rajiv Gandhi, those times he used to hug all old aunties, old parties and all. And then now Rahul Gandhi, Bharat Jodo. I also met Rahul Gandhi as a Bharat Jodo delegate in Kanyakumari. So they think when you influence a woman, you will get a vote. The party will win. They want to showcase as themselves as a woman-friendly party. Mahila. Right? Both BJP, Congress, DMK or Telangana government, whatever. Mahila. Yeah. But how many women chief ministers are there in India from these parties? Except for Delhi now. West Bengal, yeah. But she owns the party. She founded the party. Mayawati, she's the head of the party. But any party where men are the heads, you cannot see women taking decisions at all. Even ministers are very less. So what they do, see, there is a very big chance of dynasty politics, women coming in like Indira Gandhi. Or like Jayalalitha was part of MGR's ecosystem. But marginal women working for political parties will always be there in the grassroots level. Behind the scenes, they will be in the forefront, fighting for the party, doing everything, but they are cheap political laborers. They will not get paid. At least men get that quarter and biryani. Women don't even get that. And they don't have decision-making power. Parties are workplaces. Yeah. And then coming back to office. Sexual harassment. This is something which we constantly don't talk about. We talk in places like this. But in workplace, women don't talk about that. So already I said there is a concept of men thinking bad about office-going women, and then there is a problem of sexual harassment happening at workplaces where women are caught between the two. How many of us have put up with sexist comments to sexual actions because we have to get that money back home? If she raises the voice, I've seen a lot of things, not just Me Too, but in most posh cases or wherever it is, ICCs, when women complain of sexual harassment, they are out of the office, not the perpetrator. It's been a pattern. Sexual harassment is, working women for sexual harassment not just starts at office. It starts while they're traveling to office. Bus, auto or any share auto or train, right? The sexual harassment starts from there and then it continues into office. So the amount of emotional trauma, that survival mode where women are constantly put, that's placed in that survival mode. The managers, I've been sexually harassed at work. So I know what the managers do for a woman. They think if you're very modern, I can do anything to you. And then if you think they're very traditional also, men think they can do anything. कुछ भी चलेगा. आप traditional हो या modern हो, जो भी हो, I'll give you that excuse and I'll exploit you. I'll do whatever you want. And there is no ICC in most of the places. There is no sexual harassment committee in most of the workplace. As far as I've seen, in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu and a lot of places, they don't have in place. And that's one interesting story I'll tell before I end, because I've been talking for a long time. If you give me, I'll talk for a day. Huh? Yeah, I can talk for a day on this. This is just creating opportunities. Yeah. So, creating opportunity, in that, we have to include internal complaints committee. That is one of the opportunities, because if that is there, then you will not have people fearing to come to work or losing hope that, okay, this has happened, so I'll quit. If there is a strong sexual harassment board in any company, women will have the confidence to work. Women will have confidence to continue with the work. So when I say Vishaka committee, I'm giving you a reference. You have to read about Banwari Devi, Rajasthan. You have to read about her rape case and how Vishaka committee was formed. It was a child marriage. This woman stopped a child marriage. That was her work. And she was raped for it. She was gang raped for it. She did not get justice. She went to the court. But because of that thing, only we got Vishaka committee. So when you say creating opportunity, we have to look at these things also. Is there a strict law against sexual harassment at work? And then you have DEI. We always talk about diversity, equity, and all those things, right? Inclusivity. These companies think having everybody from diverse background is enough. But are these people contributing is more important. For example, in a company where there is a board, you're having everybody, but are they having equal say? Because in most companies, the upper class man has more voice than a woman or a marginalized woman. It just goes like this. So inclusive is there, but are they contributing is something we need to speak about. Are they active? The diverse people in a company, are they active? Who has to monitor that? Who you think has to monitor that these people are included in decision making or included in opportunities like, promotions in private companies? At least in government, if there is a promotion thing, you can even go legally and fight. Right? Women fight, men fight, people from marginalized community fight. But in private companies, when they are denied opportunities like a promotion or a salary hike, they can't fight. Especially women. Where is the legal fight for equal pay in the first place? How open is the salary? How open is the salary report of people? We think it has to be kept secret. You think it has to be kept secret? When government agencies go ahead and say this is a salary, you see newspaper cuttings, no? They say this is a salary, this is a salary. But why are private companies not showing the salary register of people, saying this job, this position is this salary? They have to be open about that. Only when they are open about it, end of the day, we will not have an issue of pay. Because when women find out they're being paid less, they will end of the day question. But who has to jump in and take an action here is the labor ministry, the government. Even for private, the labor ministry has to step in. And then there is a thing of reservations, right? Now then we are talking